Greetings everybody. I am Dr. Mudassir, Assistant Professor of Physiology, Usmania Medical College, and today I am going to speak about apoptosis, the programmed cell death. In today's class, we are going to learn about what is the definition of apoptosis, what are the different types, and what is the basic difference between apoptosis and necrosis, what is the morphological changes occurring in the cell during apoptosis, and the mechanism of apoptosis, and last but not the least, what is the clinical pathological conditions related to apoptosis. Now let us see what is apoptosis. What is the role played by apoptosis? Yes, it plays an important role during development of the organism and even in adult life. During development, it plays an important role in sculpting the body during embryogenesis. With an example, let me explain. See here. On the right side, you can see this is spade-like structure, which is the hand of the organism during embryogenesis. Now you can see in the interdigital spaces there is active apoptosis or programmed cell death, which is sculpting that spade-like structure into fingers and formation of hand. So there are n number of examples in which apoptosis helps in sculpting the body during embryogenesis. Next important role played by apoptosis is quality control during development. That is, it eliminates the cells which are abnormal, misplaced, non-functional, and which are potentially dangerous to the organism. In adult life, it helps in maintenance of the balance between the number of cells forming and number of cells being removed by cell death in adult tissues that neither grow nor shrink. It also plays an important role in involution of hormone-dependent tissues upon hormonal withdrawal. The best example for this condition is endometrial uh, endometrial attrition during menstrual cycle. Next important role played by apoptosis is removal of cells which have damaged DNA, maybe due to exposure to radiation or toxins, and the cells which are virally infected, they are also removed by apoptosis. The cells which are having misfolded proteins are also removed by apoptosis. So these are the important roles played by apoptosis in an organism or in a human. By definition, apoptosis is programmed cell death. It is of following types. This programmed cell death is of two types. Our cells in our body die by two mechanisms. One is apoptosis, as this topic is, and the one is necrosis. Now, what do you mean by necrosis or apoptosis? Apoptosis, just now I have said, it's a programmed cell death. It's a physiological condition. Now, necrosis is a necrosis is an accidental cell death occurring due to uncontrolled factors in the external environment of the cell, which could be sudden stoppage of perfusion to the cell or any sudden invasive organism invading the cell, like so on and so forth. Now, the basic differences between necrosis and apoptosis are following. Necrosis is a premature cell death due to toxins or the external factors which are affecting the premature cell death. Apoptosis, on the other hand, is a programmed cell death. Necrosis is purely pathological process. Apoptosis is physiological process. In necrosis, what happens is the cytoplasm swells along with mitochondria, followed by cell lysis, and the structures inside the cell are spilled out, causing a pathological condition called as inflammation. Now, on the contrary, Apoptosis occurs by shrinkage of cytoplasm, condensation of the nucleus, and formation of apoptosomes, which are again removed by phagocytosis. In necrosis, there is no chromatin condensation is observed, whereas in apoptosis, chromatin condensation is observed. Apoptosis is purely dependent on special proteases inside the cells, which are called as caspases, whereas necrosis is independent of caspases. In necrosis, post-lytic DNA digestion occurs, whereas pre-lytic DNA fragmentation occurs in apoptosis. Generally, necrosis is harmful to the organism, whereas apoptosis is often beneficial. Now, these were the differences between apoptosis and necrosis. Let us see what are the different morphologically changes are occurring in necrosis and apoptosis. On this side are the morphological changes which are occurring in necrosis. You can see here the cell swells and bursts, giving rise to inflammation in neighboring tissue. Whereas apoptosis, the cell size is shrinking and there is formation of blebs which form apoptosomes, which are phagocytosed by macrophages. Now let us see what are the morphological changes occurring during apoptosis. As the cell is undergoing programmed cell death, first things happening in it are chromatin condensation, cell shrinkage, and formation of blebs in the cytoplasm, membrane blebs. And these blebs, they shoot out to form apoptotic bodies, which are phagocytosed by macrophages. So these are the morphological changes occurring during apoptosis. But how are these things triggered, or what is the mechanism behind it? Let us see what is the mechanism of apoptosis. The apoptosis mainly occurs by activation of special proteolytic enzymes called as caspases. These caspases are of two types: initiator caspases and executioner caspases. By definition, caspases are specialized intracellular cysteine proteases that cleave the protein after aspartic residues. They are cysteine proteases cleaving after aspartic residues. That's why they are called as caspases. The C is derived from cysteine, and aspartic acid gives the ASP part of caspases term. These are of two types, that is initiator caspases and executioner caspases. Now once these executioner caspases are formed, they activate endonucleases, and also these are catalytic, causing breakdown of cytoskeleton. Once the breakdown of cytoskeleton occurs, the cell shrinks, and as the cell shrinks, there is condensation of nuclear chromatin. There is also breakdown of lamina covering the nucleus. These endonucleases, they cause fragmentation of the DNA. That's how the condensation of chromatin material occurs. So simultaneously there is breakdown of cytoskeleton and condensation of the chromatin material. Once this starts, the cell membrane starts forming cytoplasmic blebs. Now these shoot out or bud off to form apoptotic bodies. Now these apoptotic bodies have ligands for phagocytic cell receptors, which attach with phagocytes or macrophages, and that's how the programmed cell death is cleaned off by phagocytosis by the macrophages. Now these caspases are regulated by pro-apoptotic proteins and anti-apoptotic proteins. Let us learn the caspases, that is the proteolytic enzymes which cause apoptosis, which bring about apoptosis, are activated by two mechanisms. One is intrinsic pathway, another one is extrinsic pathway. Now here, first and foremost, I'll be discussing about intrinsic pathway, which is also called as mitochondrial pathway, which is the major pathway for apoptosis. That is, major apoptotic activities inside our body occur by this pathway, that is intrinsic pathway. This starts with the release of cytochrome C. Cytochrome C is an important component present inside the mitochondria. This cytochrome C binds with uh, apoptosis activating factor APAF1 and activates initiator caspases. Now these initiator caspases, again they activate executioner caspases and bring about apoptosis, as I have discussed earlier. Now this cytochrome C, release of cytochrome C is crucial in intrinsic pathway or mitochondrial pathway. The release of this cytochrome C is regulated by pro-apoptotic factors and anti-apoptotic factors. The anti-apoptotic factors, which belong to BCL2 protein family, that is BCLX, inhibits the release of cytochrome C, whereas BAX and BAK, which are pro-apoptotic, they promote the release of cytochrome C. Now, whenever there are stimuli such as growth hormone, growth factor withdrawal. Now to summarize the intrinsic pathway, whenever there is growth factor withdrawal, DNA damage by radiation, toxin or free radicals, or protein misfolding which causes ER stress, it activates pro-apoptotic PCL family, which are acting as a sensors. These sensors, they stimulate pro-apoptotic proteins, that is BAX and BAK, and at the same time the anti-apoptotic bodies or anti-apoptotic proteins are inhibited. Inhibition of inhibitor promotes or facilitates the apoptosis. Negative into negative causes positive. In that metaphorical way, we can understand that whenever intrinsic pathway is activated, the anti-apoptotic proteins are inhibited and pro-apoptotic proteins are activated, so that apoptosis is facilitated by release of cytochrome C. Cytochrome C binds with apoptosis from activator protein apoptosis activating factor 1 APAF1 binds with that and activates the initiator caspase. The initiator caspase activated by intrinsic pathway is caspase 9. Once this caspase 9 is activated, it uh, it activates the executioner caspases which bring about the apoptosis, as I have said earlier. So this is how intrinsic pathway brings about apoptosis. Let us see extrinsic pathway. In the extrinsic pathway, the external factors stimulate a receptor present on the cell. Now this receptor, as it causes the death of the cell, it is also called as death receptor. It has got an extracellular binding site for different ligands which would activate it, and it also has intracellular domain which is called as death domain. The example given here is the FAS receptor, which is the receptor for T lymphocytes. T lymphocyte have got FAS ligands which bind with the death receptor. Now one important point I would like to add here is the death receptor belong to TNF family, tumor necrotic factor receptor family. Now when FAS binds with FAS ligands bind with FAS, the death domain, which is intracellularly present inside the cell, is activated. Once it is activated, it causes activation of adapter proteins, which activate caspase 10 in humans, and in other organisms it activates caspase 8. Once this caspase 8 is activated, it again activates the executioner caspases, which bring about apoptosis. Now this extrinsic pathway is also inhibited by special proteins called as flip proteins, which block the activation of caspase 10, which are initiator caspases in extrinsic pathway. That's all about the two pathways which bring about apoptosis. Now let us see how the end stage of apoptosis is occurring, that is removal of the dead cell. Now once the blebs are formed, these blebs, they form apoptotic bodies. Now my question here is, why only the cells which are undergoing apoptosis are attacked by phagocytes but not the other cells? The answer is the presence of a special component, that is phosphatidylserine. Generally this phosphatidylserine is on intracellular side of the plasma membrane. Once this phosphatidylserine is exposed on the extracellular side of the plasma membrane, then they attract the phagocytes, or the cells which are having phosphatidylserine on the extracellular side, they are tasty to the phagocytes. Once they are expressed on the extracellular side, the macrophages accumulate around these cells which are expressing phosphatidylserine on extracellular side and start engulfing it. Once it is engulfed, it is phagocytosed and destroyed and removed from there. That's how the removal of apoptotic cells or apoptosomes occurs. Now coming to clinical correlation. What happens if apoptotic conditions are increased? Yes, it might result in conditions like neurodegenerative disorders. Commonest is Alzheimer's disease. Now, if this apoptosis is reduced, if the death of malfunctioning cells are having problematic DNA, if they are not removed, what would happen? It would result in cancers. Yes, that would happen. That is what happens in people who are suffering with abnormal P53 gene, which is tumor suppressor gene. Once that gene becomes abnormal, these people are prone to suffer with cancers because there is reduced apoptosis in them. So that's all the basic clinical pathological conditions which are related to apoptosis. Now to summarize, we have learned today that cell death, programmed cell death, is apoptosis. Now these cell deaths can be classified into two types, that is necrosis and apoptosis. And during apoptosis, there are important intracellular specialized proteolytic enzymes called as caspases, which are activated by two pathways. One is intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. After these caspases are activated, cell undergoes shrinkage, chromatin condensation, formation of apoptosome, which is then engulfed and phagocytosed. So this is a very clean and green process occurring inside our body, which plays a very important role. Once, if due to any problem, if apoptosis is increased, it might result in disorders like neurodegenerative conditions. And if apoptosis is reduced, it might result in conditions like cancers. That's all, folks. If you have any doubts, you can approach me. Thank you.